Thank everybody for being here today. And this is our first Clean Air and Nuclear Safety Subcommittee hearing on the EPA's Clean Power Plan. I would like to thank all the witnesses for appearing for us today, and say a special thank you to my state's Attorney General, Patrick Morrisey, who has been leading the national legal fight against this rule, which would have, we believe, devastating impacts in our home state of West Virginia. So thank you, and thank you, Attorney General Morrisey, for traveling across the mountain. Appreciate it. Back in February, in a full committee hearing in this room, I asked EPA Acting Assistant Administrator Janet McCabe to explain why the EPA did not hold a public hearing on its proposed Clean Power Plan in the state of West Virginia, one of those states very heavily impacted. Despite the large role that coal has in our economy, in our electricity generation, and despite the multiple invitations issued by me and many, many others, federal and state legislators, to have them come to our state. She told me basically that public hearings were held where people were, and this is a quote, comfortable. That response was unacceptable to me then and to the people of my state. As Attorney General Morrisey will also point out in his testimony, this rule will have a devastating impact in our state, other coal-producing states, electricity ratepayers across the country, and the reliability of our grid. We know from nearly 5 decades of experience that the Clean Air Act works best when implemented in the spirit of cooperative federalism. When the federal government works with the state as partners, we can and have improved our air quality, protected our economy, and the electricity grid at the same time. However, the Clean Power Plan does none of this, in my opinion. Instead, we have an EPA dictating to the states and effectively micromanaging interstate electricity policy decisions to a degree even the agency admits is unprecedented. This raises a broad array of legal issues and is quite simply bad policy. As a result, many states, including West Virginia and Oklahoma, whose attorneys general will be here today, have raised grave concerns about the legality of the rule and the implications for their citizens and ratepayers. In addition to significant constitutional and other legal questions, states have expressed concerns about the feasibility of EPA's proposed requirements and the likely impacts on electricity costs and reliability. At risk is the ability the states have always had to make the decision about their electricity generation. West Virginia has chosen to rely on coal to provide affordable and reliable electricity for our consumers and businesses. Other states have made different choices that best serve their citizens. But under the Clean Power Plan, each state's electricity plan will have to meet EPA's criteria for reducing carbon dioxide emissions and be approved by the EPA. Other EPA regulations, like Utility MACT rule, is already contributing to rising electricity rates and growing concerns about reliability. We've had testimony in this committee in other hearings. With the economy still far from fully recovered, the last thing job creators need is another expensive regulation likely to drive up our energy prices. And the last thing our families and senior citizens need is to see their electric bills continue to go up. Next week, I will be introducing greenhouse gas legislation with my colleagues that will preserve the proper balance of state and federal authority, help ensure reliable and affordable electricity, and protect jobs in our economy. I look forward to working with many colleagues on the committee to advance this bill. And I would also like to say anecdotally that throughout the state of West Virginia, we have such uncertainty and such disappointment, I think, that our voices haven't been heard in our state with the EPA coming to the state to listen. And we don't feel that the calculation of the economic impact in our communities has been fully explored, nor even taken into consideration as we move forward with these rules. With that, I would like to yield to the ranking member, Senator Carper, for opening statement.